We're honored to have you here today. We want to talk about some of the new options we have for the North American market. The market has had some interesting demands recently, and we have some new products to meet the demand and maybe exceed the expectations. My name is Damian Bush. I'm the technical sales manager for the Western United States for our company. And with me today, all the way from Worms, Germany, is Ralph Berger Seidle. And I'm honored to
Hello to everybody.
Honored to have Ralph here with me to back me up in case you ask a question I can't answer. Ralph is a master of parquet laying in Germany. He's head of technical advisory for our company, and Ralph is a globetrotter, he calls himself. He's doing trainings and events all over the world for our company. So honored to have Ralph here today, and thank you again for coming today and for being patient while we finished our setup. We're going to start off today by talking about our new product, Pinkalizer. And Pinkalizer is a water-based reactive. It's a peroxide bleaching system specifically for red tones. And of course, the goal, as you all know, is to mute the red and make the red oak look like the white oak. So that's the goal with this product. The product comes with Part A and Part B. Part A and Part B are mixed in equal parts, 50-50. And we sell the kit with our mix box for easy measurement and dipping and application. Ralph's going to apply the product. But I want you to have a look at the front of the panel. The front of the panel has already been treated with Pinkalizer. The effect of the product takes 12 hours to achieve the full result. So as we're limited on time with the demonstration, we treated the floor ahead of time so that you can see the end result. And of course, front and center, this is the one that I made at home. You can see the bare red oak on the left and the treated side on the right. Maybe later, if you can't see in the back, you can come forward and have a look later. So Ralph's going to mix the product, Part A, Part B, equal parts, 50-50, 1-to-1, however you want to slice it up in your own mind. The coverage rate on Pinkalizer is 800 to 1,000 square feet of mixed product. So if you mix 1 gallon of Part A and 1 gallon of B, the coverage rate would be 1,600 to 2,000 square feet per gallon. You're laughing. Okay. Easy math. So for 1 gallon of mixed product, again, 800 to 1,000 square feet per gallon. Acceptable tools for application are the 5mm roller. Microfiber is our recommendation. You can use a Wichwiesel. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically a flat mop from Germany. Really, there's many ways you could apply it. A trim pad on a pole would work just fine. Obviously, the goal is with any product to apply it as evenly as possible to avoid puddles, heavy spots, and/or spots with not much product. So without further ado, we can watch Ralph apply the Pinkalizer. It's our goal with this product to achieve the result in 1 step. That was our goal with this product. We have noticed that depending on the red oak and which part of the country it comes from, it may be necessary to do 2 steps to achieve the results that you're after. But in most cases, 1 application is sufficient. If after 12 hours you decide that you want more of a reaction, you're at your freedom to do a 2nd layer if you choose. Of course, that would work just fine. Those of you that might not have heard, the question was, can you use a pump sprayer and back dragging with the T-bar to apply? Of course, it works. You want to be careful to protect the surfaces in the home, the carpet, whatever, from the product. Sorry? Yeah, you definitely want to protect your your hands. That's a good question. It's our experience that a filler base with powder and water mixture is the most resistant to a reaction, maybe loosening effect with maybe some premix fillers. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry? Pine? We get the question a lot with white oak, and as you can see in the box, it has a green tint in it. So any kind of white oak or light species, you have the effect of maybe going green sometimes. The green is obviously, as a lot of you here know, is what counteracts the red. So it's really designed for a pink or red species, maybe beech, whatever. Walnut. I can't answer that question, honestly. Haven't done it on walnut. I'm sorry? I don't know. We haven't really tested it on those species. Steven? Say again? Permanent? No. No. One cut with the belt machine and it's gone. Yes. Yeah. So the question for those of you who didn't hear, he's asking if the effect on the red oak is permanent. The answer is no. One pass with the belt machine to remove the product and you're back to the pink color. It is a water-based reactive, yes. A peroxide bleaching system. Yeah, that's right. I'm happy to answer all the questions. We're limited on time and we have 3 products to show you, so we kind of got to scoot through a little bit. The last note I'll mention on the Pinkalizer is that after 12 hours, you can use any of our products to treat the floor afterwards. So if it's an oil-based, solvent-based stain, a penetrating oil, or water-based finish, whatever product you choose to go on, at 12 hours, you're back in business on the surface without having to abrade or anything. So the next product we're going to show you, we're very excited about. It's our stain, and this is a new product from our company. We have 38 colors of express stain. In our line of stain, we took some of the traditional familiar colors that you know, maybe from some other good brands in America here. And we also took our best-selling colors from our base oil lineup. So it's a unique mix of a lot of colors. Do you want to start? So Ralph is going to buff on the stain, buff it off. This technology here is very familiar to you. You have alkyd resins in this formula, pigments, as you would expect, and most notably, no cobalt. So our system uses a next generation dryer, and we don't use cobalt in the stain. The stains themselves have multiple categories of dry times, but we'll talk about that on the next demonstration. The stains are overcoatable with any of our water-based products and also our oil-based polyurethane as well. The cord? Want me to help you with the cord?
That's okay.
some of you are wondering, it is an alkyd resin that's in the stain. Alkyd resin, linseed oil, and our pigments. One thing that's of note about Berger Seidle is that we make all of our own color pastes. Okay. Yep. Excuse me. So, it's a simple buff on, buff off application. You guys are very familiar with this technology. As I said, our touch on it really is removing the cobalt from the product. Yeah, this stain is definitely designed with that in mind. If it's set up a little bit, you need to pour some more on, let it loosen itself up, easy to fix. This product has been in field testing for about a year, a little over a year, in Canada, United States, and a little bit in Germany. So just to recap, 38 colors of express stain, all over coatable with any of our water-based products and our solvent OMU systems as well. You can take the express stain on the Pinkalizer if you choose. Really versatile system. The coverage rate is as you would expect, 600 to 800 square feet per gallon. Buff on, buff off, rag on, rag off. Whatever you want to do, it'll probably work. Thank you, Ralph. I could take some questions about express stain if you have any. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's right around 550. The question was the VOC content of the stain, right around 550. Sorry. It's a really good question. The answer is yes. For those of you that didn't hear the question, we were asked if the stain system is compatible with our base oil penetrating oil. The answer is yes. Most interestingly for you maybe is that it works both ways. If you take the base oil first, you take the express stain first, you can reverse the direction and they're compatible systems. Yeah, the next question was, can you coat over the top of the express stain with our 100 Pro penetrating oil? The answer is yes. It wouldn't be my recommendation, but yeah, it's done. It's been, I'll let Ralph take that one.
So with base stain is normal only for coloration. It's not a really deep penetrating oil. Yeah, it sits more, I would say, more on top of the surface, and it's not a full protection. It's not a top one coat system. You have to protect it, whatever you want to do on. Yeah, so if it is a 1K or 2K product, if it is 100 Pro also, yeah, you have all the time to protect a stain. Yeah. For a quite resistancy. Yeah, 100 Pro is also a penetrating oil. So, but the stain closes the pores, so the 100 Pro cannot grow so deep inside. It stays more on top. So yes, you can do twice the 100 Pro on top, but only you have to put some drops on. Because when you have too much excess on, to remove such a high amount of excess, it's a very hard job. Everybody knows that. So work on sections, put drops on directly on the pad or on the surface, buff it on, buff it off the excess. Yeah. Yeah.
And one note from my side, if you choose to take the 100 Pro oil wax combo on top, use the hardener. You know, the isocyanate's a helpful chemical for accelerating the drying process. So that would also be our recommendation.
What about the dry time? Coating with anything on the stain?
It's a good segue. The question from Mike was, what about the dry time? So it's a good point at this time to move to our third product. On this panel, we have white oak that's been stained with the express stain. And at this point in time, we're going to show you our new product, Turbo. Turbo is an additive that is combined with our current sealer, Exoblock, mixed at a 10-to-1 ratio, and applied to the surface in 2 hours of dry time on any color of the stain. So you could take the stain with the highest pigment load in our offering of Express Stain, Extra Schwarz, it's deep black, sorry, and you can still overcoat it in 2 hours. What's really interesting, and I've told some people in the booth, I did the testing for this system on our stains in Germany not too long ago for adhesion. And what's interesting for you guys to know is that on all the adhesion tests, those are all done universally by all manufacturers. On all the adhesion tests that we did, the adhesion was stronger with Exoblock on the stain after 2 hours than it was if the stain had its natural organic drying time plus a full layer buildup. For me, that was really impressive to see with my own eyes doing the test myself. So it's really a tenacious adhesion that we achieve after only 2 hours of dry time.
Under ideal conditions?
Yeah, that's a good question. His question is under ideal conditions. Those conditions, as you guys well know, are the same temperature and relative humidity that we all like to be at. It's at 68 degrees to 73. It just so happens our window is actually a little more tolerant. It's in the high 70s for the relative humidity and high 70s on temperature, of course, too. So, question? That's a good question. For those of you that didn't hear, her question was, can you use the turbo system on top of the penetrating oil base oil? Unfortunately not. Any other questions? No, that was her question. Yeah, Exoblock and Turbo is designed for the express stain. That's right. Yep. A word about the Exoblock sealer. Exoblock is a specialized sealer that's formulated specifically with exotic species in mind. It fires the wood, gives a nice deep rich color, so this product is going to have a color enhancing effect on whatever stain color you choose to put it on. My recommendation personally is the universal roller. It's the same roller that you can use with any of our finishes, whether it's water or solvent based. But of course you can use the microfiber versions if that's your preference as well. The mixing ratio between the Exoblock and the additive is again 10-to-1, like many water-based 2K systems. Sorry? Yeah, we had a comment here up front that the product is thick. He's absolutely right. The solid content on Exoblock is around 33? Yep. Yeah, 33% solid content in Exoblock. So, come again?
Coverage rate?
Yeah, it's 350, 550, somewhere in there, depending on if you're rolling or T-barring or whatever. Quick show of hands. How many of you have operated a wood floor company under the basic understanding that solvent-based stains need overnight dry times? So, I don't like to use the phrase game changer. That's not my thing. But in this case, when you do wood floors your whole life, and all you've ever known is overnight dry times to be on the safe side, I would say that this quite does change things. Should we show some mistakes? No? Say again?
I said my guys would tell me I messed their floor by making them use something that looks like that going down.
Yeah. Most interestingly enough about this system, It's not a new technological advancement. Really, it's interestingly enough the combination of two systems that were already in existence. So after the exo block is dry, 2 hours, give or take, depending on your site conditions, you can go on with your first coat of water-based finish. Of course, with most any water-based system, you don't want to do more than 2 coats in one day. When you apply the product at the correct thickness, it's just too much moisture for a wood floor to take in one day. So where this is really going to shine is if you have a small stain job, maybe 300-400 feet. You can stain it in a couple hours. Is that safe to say? So you're rolling your ExoBlock Turbo around lunchtime, and maybe you can get a coat of finish on before you go home. And we've got stain, sealed, and a first coat in one day for a small job. When you bump up the scale on the project, obviously you're going to be doing good to be stained and the sealer system in one day. But for small jobs, you're really going to speed things up. No. Any other questions about turbo? Mike, no surprise. Yeah, that's a good question. Mike asked, can the turbo additive be combined with our flex sealer? It's another sealer in our product offering. The answer is no. ExoBlock's a very specific, specialized sealer that's already itself is engineered for adhesion. It has certain additives from other division of our company that makes water-based coating stick to metal. And it's that additive that makes ExoBlock really special. It's also that additive that makes the whole system work. So we wish that were possible, but no, it's not. Just because I'm sure I'll get the question, can you use ExoBlock Turbo on another brand of stain? I would tell you that we cannot warranty the combination of our products with another brand. But you know who's doing the testing, and so far it's looking pretty good. Any other questions? Steven? Yeah, thank you. That's one I missed. We do recommend to water pop the wood before applying the express stain. You get, of course, an even color, a little more forgiving with the sanding mistakes, and a deeper penetration. So we do recommend water popping our stains. Am I missing anything?
Absolut perfect, mate.
Alles gut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alles gut.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions, please stop by the booth and we can talk more. Lenny? I'm sorry.
Subsequent demo time.
No, this was all. So we had the pink blocking product, Pinkalizer, the stain demo, and the turbo demo. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for coming. I appreciate you being here.